Alright, lads, so today we got the first ever very hard human guild quest. Remember, it has been split up. No longer is Squad 0 grouped up with humans. They are now their own separate guild quests. Unlucky for us this time around, the human guild quest in particular is actually for both ranged and also melee characters. So it's really not as bad as you might think it is. There is quite surprisingly a decent amount of options, especially as always, whenever we are talking about human killers, you have a great free-to-play character in the form of Senkamon Tatsuki. Now, in this video, we are going to be strictly using this particular team. It's probably the best team that I can make, and we are going to later on try and remove their transcendent and see how the team performs at basically 1 out of 5, special move level 1. So for the most part, level 10 SP, level 10 attack for the respective characters. For those that are wondering though, as you can see here, these are the most used characters in Very Hard, and quite frankly, the top 5 makes sense, right? Ichigo right now seems to be the best lead given his high damage output, friendly +2, 80% SP boost. Bargo is like a secondary choice. Kiryu being a main is kind of interesting. I mean, I guess if that's all you got, you might as well go for it, right? And this is one of the examples where Kiryu in a way has gotten better thanks to this guild quest because she's not being nerfed with that melee SA2. You can bring a ranged or a melee character, so therefore all of Kiryu's attacks in particular are actually doing damage, which is great to see. Fierce Battle Soifun is a character I would love to try, but I do not currently own her. Her gameplay isn't the best, but it's actually really good in stationary content like guild quest, and I think she unironically might be the best lead for this guild quest phase. Just most people don't have her duped out, and most people, myself included, don't own her. Everyone else, I mean, that's just basically the scraps, right? I guess I understand why people are bringing Yamamoto and Yuha, mainly for the Vortex. If your sides can do enough damage, well, then maybe sometimes it makes sense bringing a Vortex character. With that said though, these are the most auto-played characters. Once more, makes sense, right? Geo right now is probably the highest normal attack damage dealer character for this quest. Orihime is always going to be used every single week. Sergeant also has human killer. Kiryu works as a good support. And then, of course, you also have the Tatsuki. Realistically, I would say Tatsuki as a character is the most used character here. It's just that obviously people are using different attributes, right? Not everyone's going to be using the same one particular Tatsuki. It's spread across 5. But I think it's really cool and funny that, maybe a bad thing, I'm not sure how you want to look at it, that Tatsuki does actually make 5 of the top 10. So with that said though, first up, let's start off with our main lead, that being QUINCY ICHIGO, the renewed version. Since he has killer against all 5 bosses, since every boss is a human, we will be giving him a Misanga with a fortification pill and also a Kamari, because again, he is no affiliation. And then with that, we're going with a mixture of recharge, full stamina, and also more strong attack damage at full stamina. He is basically max transcended. His 6th slot only given 250 SP instead of the usual 500 that I would ideally want. And then for bonus abilities, we gave him full stamina damage and of course also SP. For our second character, we have Geo. In this case, Golden Chappie, and also a Misanga. If he's not max transcended, ideally give him a hollow bait just to get as much attack as possible. Since I have basically upwards to 5,000 attack, I think in this case giving him a Sanga would be better. We are giving him 3 normal attack damage soul traits. In some cases, you might want to go with full stamina damage to give him an extra multiplier, and I could do that, but I haven't tested the team out just yet, so I don't know if my characters are going to easily get hit or not. He does have the start barrier, so he should be safe, but I'm going to play even safer and just give him normal attack damage. He is basically max transcended for the most part, 1,000 additional attack, 1,000 additional focus. Although looking at it now, he's not immune to paralysis, so I might have to give him paralysis immunity. We might change that on our next run. Because the bonus abilities, we have given him attack and full stamina, although I might have to change out the full stamina or attack and put on a paralysis immunity, because right now we can't give him any immunity, right? The same can be said for Tatsuki. In her case, exact same build. She's max transcended. She is free to play, so you can easily do this. I think at this point I have 2 max transcended Tatsukis. She's not immune to paralysis, and she was already set up to be immune to paralysis, so I gave her a bonus ability, and I am also using this particular link, Yukio, giving her normal attack damage and also paralysis duration. With 2 other normal attack damage soul traits, that's the team for today. Let's jump into the quest. Alright, so the paralysis pause might be a problem. We'll see how it goes. Let's use our SA2 straight away, push back with the 1. This is going to be our most annoying boss, given that we have 2 power or technique characters against a power character. Is there that many mobs? I feel like we have less mobs usually. Did Caleb purposely give us less mobs to go against? I don't think so. I think it's the usual 10. Okay, damage-wise, we're doing really good here. Okay. Let's soul bomb now. Not sure that's the best thing to do. Okay, this is going... I mean, granted to have a full max strength in the team, right? Should I be surprised? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm too used to playing a Nightmare Guild quest that I'm kind of surprised that we're doing good damage here. So in comparison, it looks like we're actually current super fast. SA2, that was the work. That was honestly too bad. That generally was not too bad. For the most part, almost a max transcended Ichigo was almost one-shotting when we applied weakening or had the SP boost. For our first attempt, even though we took damage there, 32 seconds generally isn't bad. I think in this case, getting 50 seconds, which is like right now the highest score that you can get in Guild Quest for most like of the best teams, is unrealistic in this particular phase. If anything, I'm going to try and shoot for 40 seconds remaining. I think that's possible. Let's try that once more. So from the few attempts that I have done thus far, I think we definitely have to give Gio some type of immunity because it is very awkward. Nice, got the SP boost that he gets paralyzed. All right, let's go up here. Push the enemy down because we don't really need them to be... Oh, good damage there. Couple now hit, please. As if she actually hit us. We can potentially get back up to full stamina, though. Like that, for example. Soul Bomb. Let's go down here. Soul Bomb. SA1. Again, Paralyzed Geo kind of ruins the run for us a bit. And then in this case, we get to use our SA3. SA1. If the SP was reapplied, we would have been fine. That's 2. And then finish up with the 1. We'll let that run play out because I feel like we have to give Geo immunity. Like, we could potentially get a perfect run where Geo doesn't get paralyzed. And sure, that'd be great. But the amount of resetting I would have to do to get that run, nah. Let me give him the immunity. That way we can have consistency. And the way we're going to do that is by, 1, giving him the Yatsu link, normal attack damage, and also paralysis duration. Again, absolutely love these links when they are useful, like in this situation. That's why I want more of them. Because if this Yatsu link didn't exist, we literally have no option to be immune to paralysis while also still having a good normal attack damage output. And then we've also given him paralysis duration as a bonus ability. One thing I guess I failed to mention at the start of the video is that we have given Tarski normal attack damage despite it being a boost character. And in this case, a recharge might have been better. But I feel like since we are potentially about to get a 40-second remaining play time, giving her normal attack damage isn't really a bad thing. And even if the boost wears off near the end, my damage output as a technique Ichigo usually is enough to kill the boss in like, what, 2 strong attacks? So let's jump in this once more. Final attempt with our max strength to the team and see how it does perform. Hopefully we can get that 40 seconds remaining. Almost to our next attempt then. Hopefully the last one. Let's use our SA2, inflicted a stat summon. SA3. That kind of worked out. It looks like Geo actually pushed the enemies into us, so that was kind of cool. Let's use our SA2, then, or SA1, then 2. Okay, good timing. Let's use our SA3 now. There we go. We applied the weakening 2, I believe. Nice. Question is, though, how long is the SP going to wear or last? Hopefully not too long. Okay, actually lasted a good time. All right, that's not too bad. Let's SA1, then 2. And then finish up with the 1. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. It looks like we can get 40-second remaining. That might be our best score. Maybe, I don't know what we can do to improve. Maybe my strong attack usage wasn't the best there. But 40 seconds remaining right now seems to be a pretty decent score for this phase. I am very fortunate enough to have a max transcended team across the boards. Although, to be fair, it's not like it's a crazy team, right? Because 2 of the characters are premium, and also Tatsuki's free. Not to say everyone should have these characters max transcended, but, you know, I didn't even pull for these characters. I'll say I literally did not pull for any of these characters. Geo I got later on. I got Deuce of him later on. And then Ichigo, I skipped his banner. I just got lucky from summer tickets. So it's not like I even wailed to get Ichigo 5-5. I just got kind of lucky. Literally, 3 of his dupes came from summer tickets. So it looks like I'm doing somewhat decent then if I'm number 1 in my guild right now. Okay, we'll take it. I've never seen me number 1, so it's not too bad, right? Not too bad. With that said, now let's go ahead and remove the character's Transcendence. So in this case, let's take off the level 10 attack, take off the level 10 focus. For those that are new, I am not deleting the slots. I can re-add them later on. So I'm not wasting any Transcendence material by removing these. I'm just wasting gold, which is not that big of a deal. So at this point, Geo is basically special level 1, only level 10 attack. Let's go into Tatsuki, do the exact same thing, remove her focus slot. We could keep the focus slot on, to be fair, because again, she's free to play. It's quite fair to think you might have 1 Tatsuki special level 2, so level 10 attack and focus. But let's just remove the Transcendence slots, right? And then for Ichigo, it's going to be a tad bit awkward here, in this case, because my temp slot. And in Ichigo's case, it is going to be a tad bit awkward here, given that the 6th slot is only 250 SP. So in a way, he is performing like a, not even a 1 out of 5 character, because we have 250 SP instead of the usual 500. So despite my Sobom hitting a tad bit harder, in terms of strong attack damage, your Ichigo should be hitting harder than mine, because you have naturally more SP. Assuming you get him to level 10 SP, which is what you should be doing if you're using a character in very hard guild quests. And then because we have removed the Transcendence slots, now let's take off the Masangas. Our attack is not high enough to actually use the Masangas, so instead we're going to go over Hollow Bay. Now by doing this, it does make the character a tad bit weaker. They have less stamina after all. So we have to be a tad bit careful careful here, but we should be fine for the most part. If anything, we might have to have the boss try and latch onto us, the main character, that being Ichigo, of course, and then kind of kite them around the map so that our sides don't take any damage. In this case, though, we're now going to use Kain as the link, giving us recharge and also paralysis duration. Use a Chad link for the recharge and full stamina, and then we'll use Tentas and Getsu once more for the recharge and also full stamina. This way so she can stack her boost. Now, if you do see your team is dying here and Tatsuki isn't worth bringing out at 1-5, what you can always do, as always, is just bring this particular Orihime. She'll give you the immunity, potentially giving more damage for Geo, and she's going to keep your team protected with the barriers and, of course, also boost your team. Doing a recharge build like this on Tatsuki might not be the best thing to do, but we're going to go with it. Now, we're not going to go for a crazy high score here. We're just going to try and beat it and see if we actually can do that. So let's go up. Perfect usage of that strong attack on Geo's behalf. In this case, it looks like Chad is locked onto us, so we don't want him to get close to us, right? We want to let our characters do the damage, keep him away. Like that, for example. Boss spawns in. Let's use our SA3. I guess the fact that we're taking longer to actually clear these parts. Once more, Orihime is locked into us, so we don't want her to attack us, because once she does, she would then use a attack and then try and lock into someone else. So this isn't going too bad, to be fair. It's giving enough time between phases that by the time the next phase spawns in, our strong attack 3 is ready to go. In this case, we clear the tap it first, so that's fine, because we'll instantly use our Soul Bomb, right? Which might not be the best case here, because our SP boost might wear off. It wore off now, but it should be fine. It should be fine. Let's just make sure we don't take any damage. If we do, it's fine. We can always heal ourselves back up. And in this case, let's SA1 downwards. If our teammates die here, that's fine, because the way Ichigo works, his damage output's high enough that we can kill even if our teammates do die. And in that case, we kill with 10 seconds to spare, using a special move level 1 team, pretending a worse than special move level 1, because Ichigo doesn't even have level 10 SP, only 250 instead of plus 500s. But yeah, honestly, a pretty easy guild quest. I am happy that they have split it, to be honest. It adds more value to certain characters, and in my opinion, it makes characters better, right? I think one of the best parts about this split, the fact that human, range, and mini characters can be used to, is that Kira's actually a better character now. She no longer has the problem that I actually despised about her with that mini SA2. Human guild quest has always been easy anyway, given that you have access to free-to-play Tatskis. If you're max transcender, you know, that's a thing that no other guild quest phase has. A free-to-play, max transcended, normal attack damage character. Even if the damage output isn't the highest, she still makes for a good lead. I will say this team in particular can definitely tackle the Nightmare guild quests if they are max transcended. Since we played with 40 seconds to spare, I assume we would be able to do the same in Nightmare, although it might be even more difficult given that the enemies themselves hit harder. If anything, I might have to give them level 10 stamina and defense. But this team in particular, at least max transcended, should be able to beat the Nightmare human guild quest, which hopefully we don't see for some time. Either way though, hope you liked and enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.